Now we will look at some Ajax ideas to develop rich internet applications. This is not a full-fledged Ajax tutorial, but it is meant to provide a good background to what Ajax applications are and some basics of writing a rich internet application. So let's first explain what Ajax stands for. And what is a rich internet application? Ajax is an acronym for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. And it is not a new programming language, rather it is a very different approach to think about, design and implement your web applications on the front end, typically using JavaScript along with HTML and CSS. Data is usually exchanged between the web page and the server using JavaScript asynchronously. That is, the data exchange happens in the background without interfering with the display. And the data format used to be XML, but these days the JSON data format is more popular and preferred. Consider the Facebook page. I am just showing the structure here and not the design so much. This page has a header. On the left side, it shows links to your pages, newsfeed, and groups that you have joined, etc. Then in the center, it shows you the newsfeed itself. Then here in this column, it shows what's trending, and below that it may give friend suggestions or maybe display some ads. Then on the rightmost side, it shows you your friends activity, and below that maybe online friends with whom you can chat. Now think about this. If you were displaying this page using mostly server-side technologies and getting the full page in one shot with all the data, what kind of problems do you think will come up in terms of user experience? You can pause the video here and list a few down, or post them in the discussion thread for this lecture. If you load the complete page as a whole, it has lots of data, and this data would come from different tables or collections in the database, isn't it? You have friends list, you have the news feed, friends activity, ads to be served, and so on. So on the server side, you will end up firing all these queries together in one single call. So let's say that each query takes 200 milliseconds to fire, and say there are 20 queries. It will take about 4 seconds to fire all these, right? Moreover, the data in the newsfeed is quite huge, so it will need to be paginated because you cannot display all the data in one shot, right? So overall, the page would take much longer to load, and if you click on the next page of the newsfeed, the request will go to the server and the whole page will get built again, showing page 2 of the newsfeed. But now you cannot see the records on page 1. Another issue is that even though the data for the rest of the page was unchanged, all that info was sent from the server again, because the complete page had to be rebuilt on the server and sent to the browser. That is how web applications used to be built before Ajax became popular. I think it was Google who started developing their web apps the Ajax way. Anyways, if you have seen your Facebook page, you must have noticed that when you log in, the data for different parts of the page is loaded separately. In the news feed also, there is no pagination. Basically, when you scroll to the end of the feed, more items are added, isn't it? So that is the Ajax way of building your application. When the page loads for the first time, you can load the basic structure of the page, maybe including the header, and then through JavaScript, you fetch the data for different parts of the page from the web server, and then manipulate your HTML DOM to add elements associated with the new data. Alright? Let's make changes to our slideshow example to take the list of URLs using the XML HTTP request object provided by JavaScript, and this is what is responsible for making these Ajax calls.